Welcome back to Orthodox World This Week, Orthodox News in Digital Space. I'm your host, Abel Matthew Alex. Let's see the latest updates from the Orthodox world. Renegade archbishops in Tigray and canonically consecrated 9 bishops. Ethiopian Orthodox Church calls for emergency synod. Ethnically and politically motivated archbishops, namely Abuna Isias, Abuna Macarius, Abuna Petros, and Abuna Maher who have separated themselves from the Holy Synod of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, have uncanonically and illegally appointed 9 monks as bishops in the Church of Saint Mary of Sion, Axiom, Tigray, on July 23rd and July 30th. On July 23rd, 6 were consecrated, whereas another 3 were consecrated on July 30th. In the 10 elected, 1 is left to be consecrated according to the reports. The Secretariat of the Holy Synod of Ethiopian Orthodox Church has called all archbishops of the church to convene for an immediate session to be held on August 1st, 2023 to deliberate on what had transpired on July 23rd and 30th. Serbian Patriarch appeals to global leaders for release of detained Metropolitan Pavel. Serbian Patriarch Porphyry on July 22, 2023 appealed to the world leaders to intervene for the release of Metropolitan Pavel of Chernobyl. Archbishop Serbian Patriarch Porphyry on his part addressed these distinguished religious leaders and leaders of significant global institutions with pain and bitterness and expresses his position that Metropolitan Pavel, who has always called for peace, the cessation of conflicts and finding solutions through dialogue, cannot be condemned and imprisoned due to, for example, political beliefs or verbal dialect, let alone for an offense due to opinion. Metropolitan Pavel has been inculcated, and this is a glaring example of human rights violations based on who he is and his personal and religious identity. He is imprisoned because he is an Orthodox hierarch faithful to his Ukrainian Orthodox Church and the ecumenical Orthodoxy. As such, he is an unwavering guardian of the monastery where he holds the position of hegumen, and consequently he represents an insurmountable obstacle preventing the seizure of Kiev Peskarlawa by another structure, even if in order to gain the resemblance of legality and legitimacy, it claims to be ecclesial. Russian Ministry of Foreign Affairs releases reports exposing Ukrainian regime's illegitimate actions against Ukrainian Orthodox Church. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Russian Federation on July 25, 2023 published a report on illegal acts by the Kiev regime targeting the Ukrainian Orthodox Church, its clergy, and parishioners. The topics of the reports are discriminatory laws and bills of the Ukraine directed against the Ukrainian Orthodox Church, actions of Ukrainian Special Service and law enforcement agencies directed against the Ukrainian Orthodox Church, actions of Ukrainian local authorities and self-government bodies against the Ukrainian Orthodox Church, seizures of temples of the UOC, and illegal re-registration of communities, pressure from the state and regional authorities on the largest monasteries of the Ukrainian Orthodox Church, rhetoric of hatred, unmotivated aggression and violence against the clergy and believers of the Ukrainian Orthodox Church, reaction of some international human rights organizations. Patriarch Kirill addressed plenary session of Second Russian-African Summit. His Holiness Patriarch Kirill of Moscow and all Russia addressed the plenary session of the Second Russia-Africa Summit on July 27, 2023. Patriarch addressed the forum with a report on topical issues of Russian-African relations and the mission of Russian Orthodox Church in Africa. His Holiness pinpointed the persecution against Christians in Africa and also appealed to the leaders to do needed with their power. Inciting interfaith enmity is another fallacious instrument used in today's politics. It grieves to point out that such phenomena have become dangerously widespread on the African continent. Unfortunately, it is Christians who are being subjected to the most severe persecutions. Taking this opportunity as the primate of the Russian Orthodox Church, I earnestly and with a heavy heart appeal to all those who have the means and real authority to influence this tragic situation, urging them to do everything within their power to defend persecuted Christians in Africa, said Patriarch Kirill. Patrick also noted that the friendship of Russia with Africa is that Russia has never viewed the continent of Africa as a land to derive benefits from or as a target of colonization, and added that never has Russia spoken with African nations in an arrogant manner from a position of superiority and power. In times of hardships, we always strive to show solidarity and offer help. When African countries were going through a difficult and critical period, through a different time period and fighting for their independence and self-determination, Russia tried to actively support them and later worked together with those nations at building up a peaceful life and developing many infrastructure projects. It is noteworthy that such cooperation continues to this day, added Patriarch Kirill. Armenia and Georgia to strengthen its religious ties. His Holiness Kirigan II, the Supreme Patriarch and Catholicos of all Armenians, received Sasavas Magdis, the head of state agency for religious affairs of Georgia, accompanied by Warden Astrasian, the head of the Department of National Minorities and Religious Affairs of RA Government Office at the Holy Echmiadzin Mother See on July 18, 2023. During the conversations, issues related to the preservation of the spiritual heritage in Georgia, relations between the Armenian and Georgian churches, and further strengthening of the Armenian-Georgian ties were discussed. The Catholicos of all Armenians also conveyed his fraternal greetings and the best wishes to Catholicos Patriarch Ilya II of all Georgia. Burning the holy book is not part of freedom of speech, Archbishop Leo of Finland. Archbishop Leo of Helsinki and the whole of Finland, through his statement on July 28, 2023, expressed his protest against burning holy books as part of the freedom of speech. The Archbishop also stated the need for mutual respect between the people from various cultures and religions. Archbishop noted, when the holy book of a religious community is burned, more than a simple words on paper burn in turn the flames. It dispassionately breaks down the core parts of a person's identity and personal hope. At the same time, the starting point of the mutual respect and trust are also destroyed. That's all for the week. Thank you for watching Orthodoxy community page. Hope to see you in the next week.